Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. In this video, I'm going to be showing all of you guys how to go from level 1 to 40 free to play in 30 days using only friendship. So you're probably thinking to yourself that I'm crazy and that there's no way that this is even possible. Well, it is, guys, and you can do this all without spending any money on the game. The first thing that I need to go over right now is the experience amounts for hitting good friends, great friends, and ultra friends. So for hitting good friends, which takes 1 day, you get 3,000 experience. For hitting great friends, which takes 7 days, you get 10,000 experience, and for hitting ultra friends, which takes 30 days, you get 50,000 experience, 100,000 experience on a lucky egg, and 200,000 experience on a lucky egg during a double experience event. So keeping those experience amounts in mind, if you hit good friends with 100 different people, you get a total of 300,000 experience without a lucky egg, and then progressively as you hit 100 different great friends, you'll get a grand total of 1 million experience. Add these two together and that is 1.3 million experience, which will put you right under level 28. So you'll be 27, but you'll be really close to level 28 with that much experience. And so that's really crazy, right? The fact that you can go from level 1 to 27 free to play just by getting great friends with 100 different people and not even using a single lucky egg. Now here's where it gets even crazier. So you know how I said that Ultra Friends was gonna give you 50,000 experience and then 100,000 experience on a lucky egg, but 200,000 experience on a lucky egg during a double experience event. So essentially if you time everyone's friendship, and I'll go over this in detail a little bit more, but essentially if you time it to where you sync up 100 different friends at the same time within like, I guess an hour you could say, you'll get a total of 20 million experience, guys, because 200,000 times 100 people is 20 million. So that'll take you straight from level 27 all the way to level 40 and even a little bit past it. So you don't actually have to do it with 100 different people, but essentially 100 is kind of what you want to go from level 1 to 40 free to play, and that's basically what you need. So I know it sounds crazy, guys, but don't worry, I'm going to go into everything in a lot more detail right now. But before we do that, I need to go over one thing. And the question that I'm probably going to be getting asked a lot right now is why don't you go for best friends instead of ultra friends? The reason why ultra friends is better than best friends is because best friends takes 90 days to get 200,000 experience on a lucky egg, 400,000 on a lucky egg during a double experience event, but that takes 3 times as long, guys, opposed to doing ultra friend. Now the only way that this is actually going to work is through excellent coordination and consistency. You have to do your part both in sending and receiving gifts. And so that's something that I really want you guys to consider before going into this, is that it's not as simple as it sounds. You're gonna have to coordinate very well, especially when it comes down to syncing up your ultra friends with 100 different people within that hour. But don't worry, I'll give you guys some methods later on how you can do this. So now let's go ahead and move on over to some of the more detailed parts. So you can receive a total of 20 gifts a day from people, right? That is the max amount that you can receive. As far as sending gifts go, you can send a total of 100 gifts a day to different people. Now additionally, this is not the only way that you can build up your friendship with people. You can trade up to 100 times per day, and you can also raid to build up your friendship. So those are also options that you can consider when going for this. You don't have to send everyone a gift. You can also just, build up your friendship through trades or from raids, etc. Now the biggest problem behind this method is the fact that you're probably going to forget who you sent gifts to, who you received gifts from, or who you traded with that day or raided with that day. So here's essentially the fix to this problem. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to give everyone a specific nickname for the day. So for example, you have 20 people that you receive gifts from every single day. You give them a different symbol per day. So let's just say the symbol is A, right? You type in the letter A every time you've received a gift from them. And then therefore, the following day you can type in B, and then the next day after that you can go back and type in A. And so by doing this, it's a great way to mark that you're actually receiving the gifts, and the same thing goes for sending out gifts or for trading with people. Whatever it is you're using to build up your friendship, you want to make sure you're marking them every single day. And personally, what I would recommend is using a different symbol for at least 2 to 4 days. And the reason I say this is just so you don't get confused, right? Because for, let's say, the people that you're receiving gifts and you're using A and B, for the people that you're sending gifts out to, you can use a different symbol to mark that you've sent them a gift that day. And then you can use a symbol for like people that you've traded with or raided with, etc. It's just a good way to, mark that you're actually building friendship every single day with 100 different people. It can get really crazy trying to remember 100 different people, guys. I mean, honestly, I always forget just who I sent my gifts to or who I received gifts from. And so by using the nickname feature to give them a specific symbol or like a letter or something, just to acknowledge that I received their gift for the day or I sent them a gift during that day, this helps me just get an idea of, you know, when friendship was increased. And by doing this, you don't have to worry about the syncing of the friendship, because I know that's an issue right now in Pokemon Go. So by changing their nickname, you mark that you've actually sent out a gift or you've received a gift, and you know, it kind of falls on them at that point to receive your gifts every single day. Like I said, a lot of coordination goes into this, and so you want to make sure you're sending gifts to people that can receive them every single day, and then you should be fine. And for the most part, I think a lot of people are going to be okay with receiving gifts every single day opposed to sending them out. And so for those of you guys that are going to be using this method, you're going to be the ones that are primarily sending out the gifts, so you know, ideally you're putting in a lot of work as far as, you know, getting the gifts every single day, because that's going to take a lot of time. You can only hold up to 10 at one time, and so you constantly have to spin Pokestops and send them out, but using the nickname feature is a great way to mark which ones you've already sent out, which ones you've received, etc. And so I hope that makes sense for the most part. You know, you kind of have to just use the nickname feature to your advantage, that way you can stay on track with everything you're doing, and I'm sure over time you'll kind of, you know, develop a rhythm to this, and then, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, by the second or third week, it'll become second nature, and it'll just be like a routine for your day. And, you know, that's kind of the cool thing about it, guys. It just takes practice, and if you're doing this consistently every single day, you're making sure that everyone else is also receiving their gifts or sending their gifts, you should be able to get 100 no problem. And like I mentioned earlier on, there are also other ways to build friendship. You can trade with people, or you can raid with them. Either way, it'll make your life a little bit easier if you kind of coordinate that. That way you don't have to send out as many gifts per day, because it can be kind of bothersome to get 80 gifts a day and send them out to all these different people. It takes a lot of time, right? You're gonna have to spend a lot of Pokestops. But don't worry, guys, it is worth it. Ultimately, the end result will get you to 40 faster than anyone else. And yeah, not only that, you're gonna do it free to play, so just keep that in mind. For the first 29 days, you won't have to really sync anything up. It's really on the 30th day, when you actually hit Ultra Friends with all these people at the same time, that you're really gonna have to coordinate with all of them. And so ideally, if you can have some form of communication, like through direct message on social media, you want to be able to message each and every single one of these people. That way, you know, you guys will all be in sync when you drop your lucky eggs and you send or you receive your gifts, and essentially everyone will do it at the same time. Essentially, the hardest thing about this is just going to be to coordinate with people on that last day. The first 29 days should be pretty easy, because you don't have to coordinate with them, since you're not dropping lucky eggs for good friends or great friends. You're just going to take the XP as it is. But on Ultra Friends, you're going to want to make sure that, you know, you get that XP on the lucky egg, especially during a double experience event. That would be ideal. Obviously, this is based on if you are, you know, getting your Ultra Friends on a double experience event, because that's going to give you 200,000 experience per friend. And if you do that with 100 people, guys, that's 20 million experience. Now, if you choose to do this not on a double experience event, this is essentially just going to take you 1 extra month, but you're going to have to do this all over again with 100 different friends. So ideally, you want to kind of get this all done on a double experience event. I can't give you a specific timeline of when we're going to be getting them, but when we do, you know, you kind of want to just sync this up for that reason. That way you don't have to do this again. Not that it's going to be like super difficult or anything like that, but getting 100 people, you know, to sync up is not an easy task, and so ideally you want to just kind of get this done the first time. Honestly though, if you guys are really dedicated, I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to do this right, and could even do this again with 100 different people. 2 months to get to level 40 free to play is still incredibly fast, guys. I can't tell you how long it took me to get to level 40 free to play. I mean, that was before friendship and everything, right? So with friendship now, yeah, you could actually do this effectively. It's just really coordinating with 100 different people, which is a lot to do, don't get me wrong. But it's pretty easy for the first 29 days. Essentially, you just have to coordinate and communicate with them on day 29, just get everything synced up for the following day, have everyone be on the same page, and you should be good to go. So additionally, you can use this video to post your friend codes. I will go ahead and leave a place in the comment section down below where you guys can share your friend codes. I encourage you all to communicate with your fellow trainers, you know, try and get in contact with them. Ideally, you want to have 100 different people, and pretty much just use the methods that I already mentioned in this video, you know, sending and receiving gifts, trading, raiding, etc. You know, you just want to make sure everything is synced up with 100 different people if you really want to go for level 40. You don't have to do it with 100 different people, guys. Honestly, if you can't do it and max out 100 different Ultra Friends, that's fine. It's still a ridiculously fast way to earn experience, and so even if you're not doing 100, if you're doing like 60 or 80 or whatever the number may be, you're gonna get a lot of experience for doing this. Either way, this is the best method in-game as of right now for getting experience without spending any money. And yeah, it's pretty crazy, to be honest. I can't believe Niantic actually implemented something this OP. But they did, and so I'd say take advantage of it while you can. Who knows if they will nerf this in the future, especially if this video gets popular. I don't doubt it in my mind that they'll probably end up seeing it and they'll be like, alright, we gotta nerf those XP rates, right? So take advantage of it, guys, while you can right now. If you feel like you want to do best friends instead, by all means, guys, you can do it with about 50 best friends, and so that should be fine as well. But I mean, the reason I say ultra friends is because you can get everything done if you do it right in 30 days, and so that's essentially, you know, the best way to get to level 40 right now in-game. I don't think anyone has really done it this fast, unless there's like a specific event going on. I know during the Pokestop event, people were leveling up like crazy, so, you know, given certain events like that, you can level up really, really fast, even faster than this, but this is just assuming that we're gonna have, you know, just the friendship system in, and so it'll take you 30 days, you know, during a double experience event with a lucky egg, or it'll take you 60 days without a double experience event, but still with a lucky egg, and lots of coordination. Now, there's one more thing I want to go over, which is kind of the obvious downside to this method, and it's the fact that you're not going to have that many good Pokemon. You will be level 40 free to play, but you will not have any good Pokemon because you didn't really grind anything out. You didn't do that many raids, you barely caught any Pokemon, you know, etc., right? So you didn't do that much. And so essentially that is sort of the biggest problem with this method, is that you're not going to have any good Pokemon to battle with, but it's not an impossible solution, right? Essentially all you have to do is just go out there, grind out those weather boosted Pokemon, and pretty much just save up the candy and evolve your best ones. You can build a pretty good team, guys, on level 35 weather boosted Pokemon, trust me on that. But even then, you could also just trade Pokemon from like a level 40 account, or maybe you have friends that have trash Pokemon that they don't use anymore, but it'd be like really good in your situation. You can always trade them. And the only condition that you really need to have to do that is to have at least caught that Pokemon in your Pokedex. So for example, if I want to trade over, I don't know, like a Zapdos or something like that, and you're ultra friends with that person already, you want to have a Zapdos in your Pokedex, because if not, it's going to cost you 80,000 Stardust as an ultra friend. But if you've already caught that Zapdos, it's only going to cost you 1,600 Stardust, which is like so much less, guys. And so that's essentially the only condition that you have to follow, is that you just have to have that Pokemon in your Pokedex already, and you should be able to trade over some really, really powerful Pokemon. And for the most part, you know, they have raids that you can do. They have Tyranitar raids, so if you want to get some really good Tyranitar from a friend, all you have to do is just do one Tyranitar raid, lock it down in your Pokedex, and then just have your friend transfer something over. Whatever trash Tyranitar he has is going to be super good for you in that scenario. So essentially that's the downside, but it's also a pretty easy fix if you think about it. But overall, the idea is to get from level 1 to 40 free to play in 30 days, and this is essentially how you do it. So I really hope that this information helped you guys out. I know it's kind of crazy to think about, but it is very possible. It's just going to take a lot of coordination and communication. Personally, I'm going to try and do this method myself with as many people as possible, so if you are interested, go ahead and leave your friend code down below. I'll try and add as many people as I can, and so essentially if I can get to level 40 free to play again on this account, I'd be pretty happy with that. So that's kind of my goal right now. I feel like I never would have really thought about this method had I not been banned in the first place, so I guess thank you, Niantic, for that, because now I figured out this incredibly OP method of getting experience as a free-to-play player, and essentially all of you guys can do this as well. Whether or not you're free to play, this is a ridiculously fast way to get experience, guys. And ultimately, this will get you to level 40 free to play, or just level 40 in general if you're not there already. So take advantage of it while you can. I'm pretty sure in the future they will nerf the experience rates, but as of right now, this is the way that it is. All it really takes is a lot of careful coordination, and you can get this done. But with all that being said, I hope you guys did find this video helpful. If you did, feel free to hit that like button down below. As always, I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more Pokemon Go content, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. And I will see you all real soon in the next one. Take care.